Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of D-Lo Tries. Today we're going to be breaking down this ride I did here this morning, 20 miles on the bike. And first of all, sorry to start the video off the way I did, but at that point I had just gotten out of the saddle, had been climbing for a good amount of time, and just had a pretty hefty burp. And I gotta say, shout out to GoPro for having such good mics on that camera, because yeah, I picked it up real good, and my wife and I were watching the footage, and we both just started laughing. So hopefully y'all got a good chuckle out of that. But yeah, that's me about probably 17 miles into this ride after doing a bulk of the climbing that I had done on this ride. So apologies for that, but hopefully we can all have a good chuckle about it, because I certainly did, my wife did, and hopefully you do too. But getting into a little bit of the nitty gritty here about the ride and kind of what I experienced and what I felt throughout this whole course. The ride, it was a pretty neat, it's a neat course. It's one that I'm definitely familiar with. We've ridden it a few times in the past. We start out in Henderson, where we live, go slightly north into Boulder City, turn around in Boulder City and come back down into Henderson, and get the chance to see off in the distance. It's not in this footage here, but it's really cool when you're in the desert and you can see the Las Vegas Strip just kind of illuminating your ride. It's really just, there's beauty in it in a way that I don't think I've ever really noticed. But that's just a little bit about kind of the environment that I'm riding in out here in the desert. And yeah, so logistically, in terms of the training aspects of this, again, it was getting out for 20 miles, which was my first goal off my checklist for week 3. So that is now complete. We've done 20 miles. My next goal will be doing 12 miles, so shortening the ride, but doing it at a higher intensity. So at this point, again, just like I mentioned in my last episode, I'm just trying to get the feel in my legs for what it's like to be on the bike for longer than an hour, and in this case over an hour and 40 minutes. So the elevation gain is under 1,000 feet, so it's not anything that's really turning heads here. But for me, I'm putting the work in here. So I'm looking forward to doing that shorter ride with a little bit of higher intensity, just to compare those two feelings, because I know it's a different, a totally different feel when you're doing it high intensity for shorter distances as opposed to longer distances, and just trying to kind of make it. So in comparison to the 34-mile ride we had done out in Malibu last week, this thing, it was a different challenge, because we had in Malibu, of course, we had more, it was a longer ride, but it was mostly flat, and entirely flat. So this was presented some different challenges. But overall, we made it. We survived. We did it, and now we can move on to the next thing. We got running to do tomorrow of 1 mile, and then 2.5 miles. So the legs are feeling pretty good, though. I'm pretty encouraged with where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to keep progressing. So if you guys like this video, please click to subscribe, and give me comments, feedbacks on anything. If you guys, anything I should be working on to train, and how I can better prepare myself.